Ever wondered why some people seem so carefree while others are constantly stressed out? Ah, the eternal question that plagues our minds as we navigate through this roller coaster we call life. Enter stage right, the subtle art of not giving AFC kick. This book is all about helping you choose what to care about and, more importantly, what to shove into the not today Satan pile. Now you might be thinking, but I care about everything: my car, my job, my cat, my neighbor's cat, and oh, that one plant I keep forgetting to water. Well, that's where Mark Manson steps in, like a knight in shining armor minus the horse and the armor and the knightly duties. In his book, he talks about the cosmic paradox of our lives. The more we care about things, the more problems we create for ourselves. Like that time you were so worried about being late for work that you spilled coffee on your white shirt, which made you even later. Or that time you spent hours agonizing over the perfect caption for your Instagram post, only to realize you had a piece of spinach stuck in your teeth the whole time. Tragic, I know. The theme of this book is simple yet profound. It's not about being indifferent, but rather being selective about the fucks you give. It's about not allowing the trivial matters to eat up your peace of mind. Imagine not being overwhelmed by every single thing that goes wrong or right or sideways. Picture a life where you have the power to decide what matters to you and what can take a hike. Sounds liberating, doesn't it? So, how do these, let's call them, carefree wizards manage to do it? Let's dive into the book to find out, shall we? Get ready for a journey that might just change the way you see the world, one not given F*** key at a time. Ever chased happiness like it's the last slice of pizza at a party only to find it eluding you like a greased pig at a county fair? Well, folks, welcome to the quirky world of the backwards law. It's like trying to hold on to a fistful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. The backwards law, also known as the law of reversed effort, is the idea that the more you pursue something, the more it seems to run away from you. It's like that childhood friend who'd run away every time you tried to hug them. Let's take a moment to imagine you're waiting at a bus stop and you see your bus approaching. Your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, and you start running towards the bus like you're in an action movie. But, alas, the bus has a mind of its own, and the more you chase, the faster it seems to drive away. It's like it morphed into the Batmobile and decided to ditch you. Now let's apply this to something more abstract, like happiness. It's often seen as the golden snitch of life, the ultimate prize. But the more you chase it, the more it seems to flutter away. It's like trying to catch a butterfly with a hole-ridden net. You end up feeling like Wile E. Coyote chasing the roadrunner. Beep, beep. The backwards law is a paradox that forces us to rethink our approach to achieving our desires. It's like that Zen master who tells you to stop trying so hard, to let go, and let things come to you naturally. It's the universe's way of saying, hey, take a chill pill, will ya? So the next time you're busting your lungs running after a bus or chasing happiness like it's the last cookie in the jar, remember the backwards law. You might just be better off walking, or better yet, sipping a cup of tea and enjoying the journey. As they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey that matters. So why not make the journey a joyful one? Scene script. Who'd have thought that suffering is not just for melodramatic soap operas, huh? Yep, you heard right. Suffering, my friends, is not exclusive to those star-crossed lovers on your TV screen, or the tragically misunderstood villain in that novel you can't put down. It's a universal experience, and according to Mark Manson, a guy who literally wrote the book on not giving AF***CC, it's not only inevitable but also valuable. Now I know what you're thinking. Valuable, my suffering? I wouldn't wish my last dentist appointment on my worst enemy. But hear me out. Consider this. You've been dragged to the movies by a friend who has a questionable taste in films. You sit through 2 hours of aliens communicating via interpretive dance or something equally bizarre. You're suffering, right? But then somewhere in between the aliens' third act ballet and the credit roll, you spot an actor who, despite the outrageous plot, is actually quite impressive. You leave the theater not entirely satisfied by the movie, but with a newfound favorite actor. This is the crux of Manson's argument. He suggests that suffering, like enduring a terrible movie, can lead us to unexpected gains. It's through these difficult experiences that we grow, learn, and discover new things about ourselves and the world around us. So, while suffering might seem like a pretty raw deal, it's actually a catalyst for personal growth. It's the universe's way of saying, hey, here's a challenge, let's see what you're made of. It's like eating a plate of Brussels sprouts as a kid. Sure, it was a form of torture at the time, but now you're an adult who loves their greens. Or surviving that brutal calculus class in high school, only to find out later in life that it helped you understand your finances better. So the next time you're suffering through a 2-hour board meeting, just remember, it's all part of the growth. Because, as Manson puts it, choosing what we're willing to struggle for is just as important as choosing what we care about. And who knows, you might just find your next favorite actor in the midst of it all. Ever blame the traffic for being late to a meeting, knowing very well that you snoozed the alarm 5 times? Ah, the age-old blame game, a classic human pastime. We've all been there, shifting the blame faster than a professional contortionist at a Cirque du Soleil show. But let's talk turkey here, folks. It's time to delve into the nitty-gritty of responsibility. You see, responsibility is like the uninvited guest at a party. You didn't really ask for it, but there it is, eating all your chips and salsa. And just like that uninvited guest, responsibility isn't always fun, but it's crucial. Picture this. You're in a restaurant and the waiter brings you a salad when you clearly ordered a burger. You could throw a tantrum, blame the poor waiter, or even the cow that didn't make the ultimate sacrifice for your meal. But hey, how about taking a moment to check if you actually ordered correctly? I mean, burger and bok choy do sound surprisingly similar after a couple of margaritas. Or consider this. You're at work and you've just missed a deadline. It's easy to blame it on the dog that ate your laptop, the alien abduction last night, or the coffee machine that's clearly got it in for you. But wouldn't it be more productive to admit that maybe, just maybe, you spent a little too much time watching cat videos on YouTube instead of working on that report? You see, responsibility is like a pair of big kid pants. They might not be as comfortable as your favorite superhero undies, but they sure do make you look more mature. And hey, who knows? You might even get a kick out of wearing them. So the next time you find yourself blaming the universe for your misfortunes, remember, responsibility isn't just about owning up to your mistakes. It's about learning, growing, and ultimately becoming a better version of yourself. So the next time you're late because you overslept, remember, the traffic is innocent. Ever been so sure about something only to find out you were completely wrong? Yes, we've all been there. Like that time you were dead certain your car keys were on the kitchen counter, only to find them chilling in the fridge next to the pickles. Or when you were convinced that your favorite show airs on Wednesday night, only to realize it's Tuesday, and you've missed the whole thing. Or let's not forget the time you were certain that your cat was just being affectionate, until you found your favorite pair of shoes shredded to pieces. Ah, the joys of certainty. But let's be real here, folks. Life is full of uncertainties. And while it may seem like a bad thing, it's actually a blessing in disguise. Imagine knowing exactly how every single day of your life would play out. Where's the fun in that? Where's the thrill, the surprise, the excitement of not knowing what's around the corner? You see, embracing uncertainty is like going on a blind date with life. Sure, it can be scary, but it's also filled with possibilities. It's like opening a box of chocolates and not knowing if you're going to get the caramel-filled one or the coconut one that no one really likes. But hey, that's what makes it exciting, right? Embracing uncertainty also means letting go of control. And believe me, there's a certain freedom in that. It's like being on a roller coaster. You can't control the speed or the direction, but you can control how much you scream and how tightly you hold on to the safety bar. And at the end of the ride, you realize it was the uncertainty that made it fun and exhilarating. So the next time you're absolutely certain about something, consider taking a step back and embracing the uncertainty instead. Because life's a lot more fun when you're not sure what's coming next. And who knows? You might just find your car keys in the most unexpected place. Ever met someone who thinks the world owes them everything? Yeah, those people. Picture this. You're at a coffee shop and there's that one guy in front of you who's throwing a tantrum because his triple-shot, non-fat, no-foam, extra-hot pumpkin spice latte with a caramel drizzle doesn't have the perfect swirl on top. He's acting like he's been personally victimized by the barista's lack of latte art skills. And you're there, just trying to get your regular black coffee, thinking, dude, chill out, it's just a drink. That, my friends, is entitlement in action. It's the belief that we're somehow more deserving than others, and that the universe should cater to our every whim and fancy. But here's the kicker. It's not only annoying for everyone else, but it's also harmful to the entitled individual themselves. Why, you ask? Well, first off, it creates unrealistic expectations. Like our friend at the coffee shop who probably thinks every barista is a latte art Picasso waiting to create a masterpiece in his cup. But when reality doesn't match up to these lofty expectations, it leads to frustration, disappointment, and a lot of unnecessary drama. Secondly, it stops us from taking responsibility for our own lives. If we're always expecting the world to serve us on a silver platter, we're less likely to put in the effort to achieve our goals. After all, why work hard when you can just complain and expect things to fall into your lap? Lastly, it breeds a lack of gratitude. If we're always focused on what we think we deserve, we forget to appreciate what we already have. And trust me, there's a lot to be grateful for. Like not having to wait behind Mr. Triple Shot Extra Hot No Foam at the coffee shop. So the next time you find yourself feeling entitled, remember, the world doesn't owe you a thing. So, what have we learned from our deep dive into the Carefree Wizard's Handbook? Well, let's take a whimsical journey down memory lane, shall we? Picture us strolling arm in arm through the cobblestone streets of wisdom, with the sweet scent of enlightenment wafting through the air. First we encountered the backwards law. No, it's not a law that makes you walk backwards, although that would be quite a sight, wouldn't it? It's about understanding that the more you chase after something, the more elusive it becomes. It's like trying to catch a butterfly. The harder you try, the more it flutters away. But sit quietly and it might just land on your nose. So if you're chasing happiness, stop. Sit down, have a cup of tea. Happiness might just pull up a chair and join you. Then we delved into the value of suffering. Oh yes, suffering. It's like that one relative who overstays their welcome at every family gathering. But it's only through facing our problems and hardships head-on that we grow stronger. It's like going to the gym, but for your soul. No pain, no gain, right? Next up, the importance of responsibility. Remember when you were a kid and you broke something and your first instinct was to blame your sibling? Yeah, as adults, we can't really do that anymore. We have to own up to our mistakes, our failures, and our actions. It's like taking out the trash. You made the mess, you clean it up. Then we met the beautiful beast called uncertainty. Uncertainty can be scary, like walking into a dark room and not knowing what's in there. Could be a fluffy bunny, could be a man-eating monster. But it's the not knowing that makes life interesting, right? So embrace uncertainty, because let's face it, certainty is just plain boring. And lastly, we tackled the danger of entitlement. You know that feeling when you think the world owes you something? Yeah, that's entitlement. But here's a newsflash. The world owes you nothing. It's like expecting a birthday present from a stranger. It's not going to happen. So let's drop the entitlement and pick up some gratitude, shall we? So there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the backwards law, the value of suffering, the importance of responsibility, the power of uncertainty, and the danger of entitlement. Quite a trip, wasn't it? With these lessons from the subtle art of not giving a F***, may you too become a carefree wizard in your own life. And remember, life's a journey, not a destination. So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and don't forget to laugh along the way.